Let's start with the raw frame. This is a single 170-second exposure from Hubble, taken on December 27th. No enhancement, no structure filters. What stands out immediately is how compact this object remains. The central brightness stays tight, with a smooth dust envelope around it. No fragmentation, no obvious breakup. At this stage, many objects start to smear or diffuse. This one doesn't. That stability is important because it tells us whatever is driving the activity is coming from a coherent source near the nucleus. Now, this image alone doesn't show jets clearly, but it sets the baseline. Because once we process this same data, the hidden structure becomes impossible to ignore. Let's look at what changes when we extract the motion. Now we process the same Hubble data using a Larson Sekanina rotation filter. And this is where the structure becomes clear. Two distinct jets emerge from the nucleus. Not diffuse, not random. They're narrow, directional, and persistent. Look at the left panel first, December 12th. The anti-tail jet dominates, pointing sunward toward the lower left. A second jet is present, but noticeably weaker. Now compare that to December 27th. Same geometry, same orientation. But the brightness balance shifts. The secondary jet strengthens, while the dominant jet changes intensity. That matters, because if this were simple dust shedding, the pattern would smear or drift. Instead, the structure stays locked in place while the brightness evolves. That behavior is consistent with either a rotating nucleus bringing different vents into view or real variability at the source itself. Either way, this is organized activity. These jets aren't flickering at random. They're wobbling in a controlled, repeatable way. And that's the key result from this Hubble update. So here's the question this raises. If 3I Atlas is showing structured, rotating activity on interstellar scales, what does that mean for how seriously we take space as long-term terrain, not just a destination? Because while we're watching this object unfold, there's another signal to pay attention to. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman just put it plainly. We are going to build a moon base, not as a concept, not as a study, as a stated objective. In a follow-up, he laid out the priorities: returning to the moon, establishing an enduring presence, and treating space as strategic high ground, scientifically, economically, and nationally. What this really shows is alignment, better instruments, more data, and a clear shift toward permanence beyond Earth. So the question now isn't if space activity accelerates, it's how quickly observation turns into infrastructure, and whether we're ready for what we might find once we stay. What do you think comes first? Better answers or bigger questions? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe for the next update.